What's up, everybody? Chewy and coming at you today. We got another One Piece chapter review. We got One Piece chapter 1069, and this chapter delivered on every single level. I had to reread this a couple of times because the translation that came out on Thursday or whatever day it was, I didn't like. I mean, I was like, okay, this something feels off here. So I waited until the official translation came out to do the review, and I just read the official translation today. I think I read it through like maybe 2 times, and now things are starting to really make sense with, especially with things that Vegapunk said towards. Because in the translation, we'll get to that in a second. But basically, the translation cleared up some doubts that I had with that translation, and I'm happy. I am very, 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 very happy. If you guys can, do me a favor, like, dislike, down below, comment, subscribe. You know the deal. Help your boy out, get to 1,000 subscribers, and we'll get there together. All right, so yeah, we start off this chapter again with what happened last week. Lucci shows up. He's starting to destroy the lab. He killed one of the Vegapunks. And from there, he runs into Straw Hat Luffy and company. And from there, you know, of course, Luffy calls him Pigeon Guy and all that stuff. So that's how he remembers people, by like giving them nicknames or whatever. He doesn't remember their official names. Like Marco, he calls him Pineapple Head and all that stuff. So like that's pretty, you know, it's just funny just to call back to, you know, the old good old days or whatnot. And of course, you know, Lucci sees him, you know, and he's ready to go. You know what I'm saying? He's ready to fight. And you know, he's wondering why the Straw Hats are here, saying, "Hey, listen, this is a government island. What are you doing here? And what do you know, what's this all about? You know what I mean? Like, you're not supposed to be here." And, you know, of course, everyone is thinking the same thing. Like, why are we all here? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't expect you guys to be here. And from there, you know, of course, we find out that nobody can fight an emperor unless given proper permission from the world government. And that is really interesting because what they don't want to happen is they don't want to start an all-out war with pirates, right? You know what I mean? It would just cause a war, especially with someone so powerful as an emperor, because they have so much influence and so many strong people behind them that it would just cause issues. I mean, look at Whitebeard. I mean, the minute they fought Whitebeard, look at what happened in Marineford. It was basically like a full-scale war, and I was just with like, you know, some pirate ships and then Whitebeard just going nuts. You know what I'm saying? And Kaido, we all saw what happened in Wano. You know what I mean? You're fighting him, you're fighting this entire crew, and damn near destroyed an entire island. Like, it takes a lot to take down an emperor. And that's really interesting to find out that you can't do that without that order. So I always thought CP0 acted basically on its own, like it was like a different branch of government. Well, it is. It's a part of the government, but it's a part, they take orders from different people. And I didn't know they followed under, you know, I need to go back to the Marines and be like, hey, you can give validation to do that. That's really interesting. I think they could do everything on their own. And of course, Rob Lucci doesn't listen, right? Rob Lucci doesn't care. Listen, Luffy put Lucci on hard times. We all know this, okay? I beat him, and then we got the side story that they were off to kill Rob Lucci, CP, whatever it was at the time. They were off to kill Rob Lucci, and he had to fight his way to survive, and he did, and then he fought his way up to becoming CP0. That was all in the side story. I wish we can get that in the anime at some point, but it is what it is. But yeah, like, I mean, he put us, so I can understand why Rob Lucci's pissed off with Luffy and is really not going to care about what the orders are or what the chain of command is. He's like, I'm going to go after Luffy because I'm going after him now because he did a lot to me. It's his fault for what happened to me. But you know what? He is in a better position now. He is stronger. I mean, he's in CP0. And, you know, I think it kind of worked out. Getting beat up a lot. I mean, granted, it was a little bit of shame, right? Losing to a pirate like that at that time. But, you know, like, he made out all right. I think he did okay. Well, anyway, so, of course, all that's going on. And Luffy finds that the Vegapunk's been destroyed down below. And then we cut to Navy HQ. We find out they get intel about, you know, the Straw Hats being at Egghead Island. And they're concerned about Vegapunk teaming up with Straw Hat Luffy and to lose their tech. I mean, Vegapunk was a huge, very, very huge advantage to the government. I mean, he was making them these weapons that were just absolutely amazing. I mean, look at the Seraphims right now. They're just going to islands and just mopping people. And, you know, it's a really valuable asset to the government is having this tech that Vegapunk was building. And, you know, to lose him would be a significant blow to the Marines' power, right? And, of course, Akagino doesn't want that. He wants all the advantages in the world. You know, his job is, you know, to protect the world and, you know, the government's image and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't want to be outdone by pirates or whatever. So I could understand that. I really could. And so from there, you know, of course, we find out that, you know, they find all that stuff. We find out Kizaru is on the way to Egghead Island. So now this is just getting crazy. Like Kizaru's on his way to Egghead Island. We got a fight between Lucci and Luffy. They want to kill Vegapunk. There's a lot going on in this arc and in this chapter. It's just absolutely fantastic what's going on. So then the battle between Lucci and Luffy starts, and then we find out Lucci has an awakened Zoan form. And the awakened Zoan form looks really, really cool. He's got like some clouds around him or something like that. And he just looks, elongated. And I wonder what he could do in this form. And then Luffy turns on his awakening because, Lucci turned on his. Because, he's fighting an emperor. And, of course, they're destroying everything. And nobody's listening to anybody. Luffy's doing his thing. Lucci's doing his thing. Nobody cares. And then from there, Vegapunk, the real Vegapunk, shows up with the other Straw Hats, and they're watching and monitoring everything while the battle's going on. And he mentions that who's that white warrior that he says has the white warrior appeared. Warrior in white appeared. And everyone's like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, no one knows what's going on here because the entire time people thought that Luffy had the Gum Gum fruit, and deservedly so, because all Luffy said was the Gum Gum fruit. All he ever knew that it was the Gum Gum fruit made of rubber. He doesn't know anything else about the fruit, period. He doesn't know that we know that he's a Zoan, and he's basically Sun God Nika as a Zoan fruit user. So that's all really interesting. So like Vegapunk's going in and describing this whole thing, and he knows exactly who Sun God Nika is because he's been reading the texts and all that stuff. Then we get a little bit of insight in here about, because he does mention that the Gum Gum fruit is nowhere in the record books for devil fruits at all. It's not mentioned. Nothing's mentioned about a Gum Gum fruit. Nothing. So then we find out that, of course, everybody's shocked that, hey, Luffy's a god or whatever the case may be. And, we find out that the name Sun God Nika has been erased from history, which is, there's a reason for that. The government doesn't want anybody knowing anything about the ancient kingdom or Sun God Nika or whatever. Nothing to do with any of it, because whatever happened years ago, they don't want anybody to find that out, right? So basically, he's just explaining that, Nika brought hope to the world and all this other kind of stuff, and that devil fruits are basically, it's human evolution, right? Basically, people have desires to have these abilities or wish to have certain abilities, and that's why the devil fruits were created, or that's why they're around, to surpass human capabilities. Hey, I want to control fire. Okay, eat this fruit. You control fire. Hey, I want to control water, whatever. The point is that that's what devil fruits seem to be. Now, why or how they're created is still remain to be seen. Because in the translation, it was said that, from Thursday, it was said that these fruits were created from dreams or whatever. And we found out that's a mistranslation. That's not what it is. We don't know how they're made. What we do know is that it is basically human evolution to the next level. Whoever wanted this power basically created it for this very reason. And these powers were created in the natural enemy of these people, fighting in this dimension or whatever is the sea. So whoever made these, the drawback is the water. So basically my thinking is that there were gods who created these abilities, who put them in devil fruits, and there was possibly two people that were making these powers for everyone to have. One person who said, okay, look, I want people to have these abilities. And the other person was like, well, listen, I don't think it's fair that these people can have these abilities and they don't have a drawback, right? The drawback should be the sea. You know what I mean? Because if you look at the world of One Piece, it's surrounded by a large body of water, right? It's surrounded by a large body of water, and the one punishment is you can't swim, right? The minute the water touches, you're done. You know what I'm saying? So the minute you go to the water, that's it. So that's my headcanon on this whole thing. And that's what I think is going on there. And of course, Vegapunk goes into saying that this is just a theory, with Mother Nature being the natural enemy of the devil fruit users and all that stuff. So that's, really cool. I can't wait to dig more into that and get more information, because Robin's eyes were like, what the hell are you talking about, So then we cut to Sentomaru. I haven't seen Sentomaru in like 11 years. I've been wondering what's been going on with Sentomaru. Finally see Sentomaru here, and basically, talking to Vegapunk, asking what's going on and what is he doing here. And basically, Vegapunk's telling Sentomaru, I need your help. I need you to tell Seraphims to start attacking CP0 to keep them off of me. And we need to get out of here. We need to escape. And of course, then tomorrow's like, well, I work for the Marines. I work for the government. Why would I go against CP0? This doesn't make any sense. And of course, Vegapunk is like, listen, you owe me because I saved your life all those years ago. So do what I'm asking. You know what I'm saying? Basically. And he's like, all right, cool. So then from there, the other interesting thing we found out here is that there is a order system with how you can control the Seraphim, right? And I believe at the top of that list is the 5 elders. They control the Seraphim, right? So because what happened here is CP0 tried to order the Seraphim and they couldn't because they were like towards the bottom of the priority or something like that. I think it goes from top to bottom, and it's the 5 elders, Dr. Vegapunk, right? Sentomaru, and the authority chip owners. Okay? So they can't do it over transponder snail because I don't think they don't have the authority chip users or something like that. Whatever it is. I have to go back and reread that order system. But this goes back to what I've always thought Vegapunk was doing. I always thought it was suspicious and weird that this dude would just make these weapons like just for the government to do whatever the hell they want with them, right? Like I always thought it was weird. So I always thought if Vegapunk were making these weapons, what if there's a fail-safe system inside these machines that if there's ever a case where the government were to turn on him or to do anything to him, can he revert them back and order them to go and turn on the world government? It seems like there is. So my thing is, if there's a lot of pacifistas on Marijoa, if there's pacifistas all over the place, Vegapunk is he's in control, really, of what's going on with the world government. Like, he could turn on them in like this and just turn them around, just like Order 66 with the clones and Star Wars. If you guys don't know that reference, watch Star Wars. Just turn around and turn their backs and start going after the world government. Like, that is, I always thought he had something like that. This just confirms it with the order of operations. And then the battle continues between Luffy and Lucci, and they continue to keep fighting each other. And from here, of course, everybody's trying to get everyone away. And of course, Luffy runs into Sentomaru, and they have a little bit of a chat. And of course, Sentomaru's like, hey, look, I'm here to help you. I'm gonna get Vegapunk out of here, so don't worry about it. And then from there, Lucci just comes in and stabs Sentomaru and puts Sentomaru on the ground, and Luffy's really pissed right now. I gotta say, this chapter had a lot of information, and this chapter was really good, and it's a 10 out of 10 chapter. I hate that we're on a break. I think we're getting a chapter next week. I don't know. I have to look at the schedule again, and then from there, we're on a break till January. But man, what a way to end the year with this chapter. This is absolutely fantastic, and the fact that Oda is treating Lucci with respect, I love that. And the reason why I say that is because there could be last week Monday there was leaks that came out, and somebody and in the leaks somebody said that Lucci got one shot, right? And to be honest with you, Luffy's at a point now where he probably could just one shot Lucci. His power is that ridiculous, right? And nobody knows what's going on with him, and nobody understands his abilities. It wouldn't be shocked me if he did. But we all know how loved or how much we as a One Piece fandom love that Luffy versus Lucci match. Like that, like Enies Lobby Water 7 arc in my opinion, put One Piece on the map in a big way. And that was one of the best arcs of One Piece, period. And the fight between Luffy and Lucci was legendary. And I feel like Oda understands that, and I feel like he respects his characters enough that he needed to put Lucci here on this level to go blow for blow for Luffy. Not that he's gonna win or whatever. That doesn't matter. The point here is that Lucci didn't get one shot, and we're gonna get a little bit of a battle here between Luffy and Lucci, and maybe relive some of that old Water 7 vibes between those two. And I love that. And I love every single minute of that. And it's gonna be epic, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great, and I can't wait for the next chapter to come out. It is going to be awesome. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts down below about this chapter. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was great. Definitely dislike the video, subscribe, comment, do all the things, guys. Get my channel to 1,000 subscribers, and I will catch you with another One Piece review, hopefully next week. Have a wonderful, blessed day, guys. Take care. Keep reading One Piece, all right? Take care. Bye.